And then other nurses were sharing more of their stories. But a big topic of another big topic of conversation was teen pregnancy. And that the parents do not feel comfortable in sharing with their kids about the realities of sexuality, of realities of protection. Everything is kind of like hush, hush, hush. Yes, there's a religious aspect, but also just the lack of information. So, and then also the C-section rates. So in my investigation, I had gathered that in the Dominican Republic, there's about 50 to 60% of a C-section rate as a nation. But some of the nurses were even comfortable to say, depending on the region, it might even be up to 80%.
Yeah, I've even heard like 98% today.
Yeah. So a lot of the nurses were they're like, it's not hidden. They're like, it's very obvious. It's the doctors wanting to push it. Also, there's facilities that have residents and they need to get the numbers of surgeries. So they'll push also a C-section so they can have their stats, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, a lot of comedians, they said it's from the doctors. And she's like, yeah, there is a high number of moms that want to have the C-section from autonomously, but the majority of the cases are pushed because of physicians. They were giving it as an example, a vaginal delivery can cost about $100 to $150 US per se. That's when it's converted from pesos. And then a C-section can cost anywhere between $500 to $600.
Oh.
So that's a big economical difference. That's even in the U.S., right? A vaginal delivery versus a C-section. But the difference is significant. So the doctors would want to push for a C-section just for convenience, economical, as well as just time.
Okay. So were you able to
I talked about the benefits of a vaginal delivery. I talked about the risks of a C-section. I talked about the naturality of it costs less. And I got also some not pushback, but some feedback. They're like, I had a mama who's pregnant there, and she was like, I had a C-section with my first baby. Can I give birth vaginally with my second? And I'm like, in the U.S. you can. You have to find out if your physician is comfortable with it, but technically you can. There's certain requirements, like you got to make sure what kind of operation you had, like the C-section, the adequate C-section type for vaginal delivery. Make sure how your surgery was performed, if you were double sutured. So I was giving her like the scoop of it. And she said that her first baby was a C-section because of a breach. I'm like, yeah, so you would definitely be a great candidate for a trial of labor. So she was happy about that.
So how did the mamas overall receive the information, the benefits of having a vaginal birth versus a C-section? Like, do you think you were able to persuade most women to maybe go towards a vaginal birth and share that, like the information that you
There's a lot of positive feedback of like nodding and like, oh wow, like I can sense that the mamas were enlightened with the information we had to share. Because a short period of time, we couldn't ask so much questions, so I can get a specific raise of hands and stuff like that. Like, who would want to attempt a vaginal delivery after hearing this? But I can see like the nods and like the true benefits of having a vaginal delivery. I can sense it.
Yeah, it sounds like from what you were telling me too, from what the nurses were relaying to you and the mamas. It sounds like we are very much welcome to return and give.
1,000%. The need is there. The educational need, the hunger to know more.
That's good.
Is definitely there.
Yeah.
And the nurses, at least in the first class, the nurses really highlighted that this information needs to go out to the public. So we definitely have to come back.
We have work to do.
We definitely have.
We have work to do.
Definitely have work to do. There's definitely room for improvement in a good way.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Ojeda.
My pleasure. That's day one. Day two, we'll see what chronicles of our DR missionary trip.
All right. Bye.